Okay, nerds, welcome to another vintage video. Post MH3, so Modern Horizons 3 is out, which means our Bazaar decks have got access to a few new toys. First one we're going to try today is going to be Sneaky Snacker. This one's going to be one that's going to go into our Squee and AggroVine decks, and today we're going to try it in AggroVine. So for this card exactly, whenever you draw your third card in a turn, return it to the battlefield tapped from your graveyard. So you have a draw step, you draw 2 off Bazaar and it comes back. And the main aim of AggroVine is to do like a tiny bit of interacting with like a wasteland, a collector roof, a force of vigor, maybe a chalice and a misstep, and then you just dump power as fast as you can. We've got Besage as a bit of interaction as well. Then you just dump power. So 8 lizards, 4 sneaky snackers, 4 poxwalkers, 4 vengevines, 4 hollow ones. They're like our free threats. And then we've got 2 hex drinkers main and 2 collector roofs as alternate threats as well. So this deck's not been good for quite a while, but it is one of the bizarre archetypes. So we're gonna give it a go. It's usually quite fun to play, and all of the games you play, you never really, all of the games you win, you never really understand how you won, because it always feels slightly less powerful than what your opponent's doing. One big problem we've got now as the Bazaar player is going to be the Vexing Bauble. We're going to go and find out how good that card is against us. But one thing about Sneaky Snacker is it comes in for free, comes in through a bauble. Poxwalkers comes in through a bauble at the cost of just 1 lizard, and Vengevine comes in through bauble at the cost of just 2 lizards or a lizard and a hollow one. So I think I said it. So Vengevine's come in easily. Yeah, we'll see how we get on. I'm quite excited about this Sneaky Snacker. I'm going to play it in a Squee League as well. Post board for today's league, we've got 6 graveyard hate cards, 4 more disenchants, 4 mind break traps for combo decks, and a single copy of Hex Drinker. I couldn't decide on whether I wanted main deck Forest or main deck Hex Drinker. When I was playing this deck previously, which is quite a while ago now, I always liked having a main deck Forest. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's go get vexed. Okay, round 1, and we're up against this player here. And we've got a Bazaar, we've got Poxwalkers. Got 2 Bazaars. I'm going to keep it, I reckon. It looks good. I don't know this player, Tsukeeksi. I'm the third. Anyway. This hand's fine, right? Like, we've got stuff that we want in our graveyard. We've got 2 Bazaars, which we want. But it doesn't really, at the moment, it doesn't have any way of putting power in play. Usually we trust our Bazaar to fix that, though. So, we'll see how we get on. As I said earlier, the whole idea of this deck is we just put some power into play very quickly, and then a tiny bit of interaction just to push through. It's not like Squee where we're trying to potentially control a game over multiple turns and leverage the card advantage. This deck was originally designed to be like a activate Bazaar once, that dumps your power, and then after that you can like play a Collect Roof and lock out your opponent. But it was very much a 1 activation of Bazaar, low exposure to the graveyard deck. So previously we only had 4 Vengevines and that was all of our graveyard stuff. Now we're playing 12 graveyard threats, so probably a bit worse in the face of a leyline or what have you. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, opponents arrived. We'll play Bazaar, we'll activate Bazaar. I wouldn't hate to see 2 lizards really peel off the top here. Just a Sneaky Snacker. So I'm just going to discard Sneaky Snacker, Powder, and Poxwalkers. Hold the Vengevine as a Vigor card, just in case they go for something like Saga. And then we can bink that. But this is one of those interesting things that Sneaky Snacker's already showing us on turn 2, or on turn 1 of us playing it, is how we sequence our next turn. So one thing we can do, potentially, is if we've still got the Bazaar in play, opponent has not revealed Lurus of note. But if we activate Upkeep and we find a second Snacker, or a third Snacker, if we're that lucky, then they'll all come back on our draw step. So I think the Sneaky Snacker is going to potentially just make us have to think a bit more about the moment we activate our Bazaar. Usually we just take a draw step and we carry on with our day. Oh my god. This doesn't look like what I wanted to pair against. I kind of wanted to pair against like sealed decks, to be honest. So looks very jewelly so far, but could just be anything. All right, ancestral as well. Seems fine. Seems fine. Um, but yeah, so the sneaky snacker, where it's the third card. If we activate draw step upkeep, we can find newer snackers because snacker only comes in on the second activation usually. But yeah, opponents had a bit of a start really. It's not too bad for them. Let's see what else they have though. Okay, so they played an Underground Sea with no art, and they're cracking this for green. What the hell does that mean? Oath of Druids. Well, I've never beaten Oath of Druids with this deck before, so I can't imagine we're going to start now. This was always one of the big problem childs of AggroVine was Oath and Doomsday. So, an Oko as well. Sure, okay, you've got an Oko. So if we don't deploy a Mox, they can't ever give us a creature with Oko, right? Is that true? Is that how that works? We're going to go for, I believe, an end step Vengevine anyway. End step Vengevine, end step Vigor. And just see how that works out. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. They've ancestraled. I think we have to go for it. We'll hit the Sapphire as well. If they force it, they force it. Okay, so that just got through. I'm going to take my draw step first time around. And we'll see how this goes. Another sneaky snacker. So we could just play Bazaar and dump. Or we could activate this Bazaar and see what we want to do. I think we'll activate this Bazaar and see what we want to do. We're going to get Sneaky Snacker back into play. And more Bazaars. So if we go Snacker, Bazaar, Cradle, and then we can Wasteland there, Underground Sea. And then they're like a long way from home, right? And that's holding Cradle, Bazaar for next turn. We've got another Snacker coming in next turn. But we're now aggressively exposed to Oath. So next turn it might have to be like, when they Oath us next turn, we might have to activate Bazaar looking for exactly one of our 2 Presages. That Wasteland keeps them off show and tell for a day. The concept of dumping power into play has not gone to plan. They've made another food token, which just signals that they're holding the second Oath, right? No? Okay. Well, we'll take a draw step. Another Wasteland. I can't use that though because they've got a Misty. So let's just activate. We'll get another Snacker into play. Oof. None of this is what we dreamed of. I'm going to keep the same as we kept last time. I don't even think I'm going to play another card. Just attack their face. This Oko's already out of range. Yeah, Oath and Doomsday are like the nightmare matchups. I think we're just going to get shown and told in a moment, but 4 Nature's Claims and another Beseiju and a Mindbreak Trap maybe, but none of that does anything in the face of a show and tell. So that's like quite a big issue of this deck. But we have got, you know, 1 Arabian Nights card and 2 Modern Horizons 3 cards in play. So peak vintage right there. And end step. It looks like they're lining up a Vamp. Yeah, there we go. So this is probably going to kill us, this Vampiric Tutor, because it's just going to be Vamp for Show and Tell, Vamp for Attractor. Vamp for Oath is really bad here, because that gives us outs. Them getting Bayou is interesting. Maybe it's got blue rolled up already. So they make a food token. It looks like, yeah, they're playing an Oath. So we can draw up to Boseiju here, right? We've got 2 Boseijus in our main deck. It's a Lotus. That doesn't really do anything, though. Let's activate Bazaar. Collect a Roof, Chalice to the Void. Lotus. That's all a bit late, so let's just go to the next one. I should have probably just let them show me what they're doing. But I do want the Boseiju, and I do want the Nature's Claims. Chalice on the play is good, but not ideal. I will drop my Forest against these nerds. Hexdrink is kind of like not the battle we're fighting. Collect Reef can really strand them. So we need one more cut. One more cut from this range. I always liked it playing more lands than everyone else. Maybe it's probably the Snackers, but that's not what we're here to do. Or are we? Like, the Snackers like fall into play and it's really annoying. And then I could just bring in like Mind Break Traps over Snackers. But I want to play with the new cards. Right, 3 men. Okay. Sorry, new cards. But I would also like to potentially have the opportunity to post a game win with this deck. Nightmare start for us. It is extraordinarily windy today. So of note when it comes to sideboard construction as well, I've got Nature's Claims in my deck at the moment, and I did want those to be pick your poisons for exactly this matchup, because then you can ask them to sacrifice their Oath of Druids or sacrifice a flyer, so you can kill an emissary. But I just felt that with the old bauble that vexes people, that was a bit tough to ask to exile an enchantment. So we'll discard Powder Poxwalkers, and then we'll cast a hollow one. We've got Boseiju Cradle lined up for next turn. So if they turn 1 Oath us, then it doesn't matter. We can go and find another creature, and then Boseiju their dude. Let's see how many pieces of the Power 9 they have in the opener this time around. So what was that? That was turn 1 Oath, turn 1 Oko, turn 1 Ancestral, which is not a bad start, is it? Strip Mine, that's a problematic start. Yep. Okay. We're going to struggle against that one. Unless we top deck another Bazaar quite quickly. One advantage is our opponent doesn't have any cards in play. They've got 6 cards in hand. We've got a 4/4. That's another hollow one. So let's just play Cradle. And attack for 4. We're going to play out the Cradle just because then we're playing around Oath. Not Oath. Fuck. Tabernacle. It's a difficult day. Opponent falls to 16. We've got a hollow one, but that's all we've got. Vamp. I can't imagine so, actually. I'm not really thinking that's good for me. They might force back. I need to draw. Yeah, they do. I need to draw like another Cradle. Or another Boseiju next turn. For us to actually have any hope of hell in this match. But I hope this isn't what the league's like, just like, you know, Oath and Doomsday for the rest of the time. That would be kind of distressing. So that's a Misty Rainforest. I wonder if that's what they vamped for. Misty to Soaring, Fetches with Misty, is it just show and tell? Nope, it's Oath. So we've got outs here. We've got outs. And that is any green source, any bazaar. That's a green source. So Oath is dead. They've got one card in hand. Next time we can cycle this hollow one. We've got Basic Forest. What's happened over there? Opponent's at 8. We need them to not have another Oath of Druids. Basic Island. Very afraid of Wasteland as our opponent. No plays. Back to us. Upkeep Ancestor or something. They're about to make a play. They did have a paying costs moment just now. I'm going to cycle Hollow one. I feel like Collect Roof. That's a great draw. So we're going to attack. Oh, they've got Boseiju. Do I have the forest or do I take it out? No, naturally. Naturally we took it out. But opponent's got no cards in hand. Let's play our Bazaar. So I played it this way so that I can Vigor a top decked Oath. They didn't have that. How do we want to do it now? I think we want to take our card. No, I don't think we do want to take our card. I think I want to activate Bazaar of Baghdad, discarding my Force of Vigor. Orcs. Sure. My Kingdom for a Lizard. Good grief. Collect Roof. Oh, no, I can actually filter, can't I? So let's activate Bazaar. Hit nothing again. Wow, this has been some tough draws. Did I just not register lizards today? We're 35 cards through our deck. I think I'm just going to discard everything. What are they on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Alright, now I'm just going to keep a lizard. Keep a Oof. If they play an Oath, though, we're just dying. So actually, I'm just going to discard everything and play Bazaar. And then I'm going to go for just an end step flip on the Bazaar of Baghdad, I think. Because I've got these 2 Poxwalkers, right? It's very easy for me to kill them at the drop of a lizard. So no plays again from the opponent, which is good. We just need to hit a lizard at some point in the future to close this game. That's 1. If it was a different colour, then it would have been lethal. We haven't been through our Lotus yet, though. So top deck Lotus will win the game with a pump on the Basking Root Waller. We get 2 Poxwalkers into play. Oath is now too slow. Opponent's going to be at 1. We're just going to flip everything over in our upkeep. Because we can. So let's hit them with the old draw 2. Nature's Claim and Mindbreak Trap. And then we'll hit them with the old draw 2 again. Vengevine and Gaia's Cradle. And then draw a card for the turn. Nature's Claim, cool. So let's attack for some damage. Opponent's going to fall to 1. And then it's up to them to come up with something. So Show and Tell does it, Show and Tell Emissary does it, Show and Tell Attractor probably does it. You got to assume. 3 cards for them, and we win. Okay. Kind of lucky towards the end there, just because it was so difficult for us to actually do anything. Do I want this forest back? Having the forest to play around Boseiju really does do good work. I might drop the Collectorus actually. I'll drop one of them. Because they are good. Maybe it's supposed to be a claim. No, because claim kills the oath. I've not played this deck in a while. And that, like, this matchup was so bad that we used to play Grafdigger's Cage in our Bazaar of Baghdad deck. It's where we were at with the oath matchup. I changed my mind. I want Collectorus over Chalice on the play. There we go. Okay, game 3 against Oath. We are on the draw. We have got Triple Lizard Bazaar with a Lotus. So that's something. We'll keep this. See what the opponent's got for us on turn 1. They probe us to see Triple Lizard Bazaar. Emerald Orchard Oath would be challenging to beat. Misty. If their hand is just turn 1 Oath of Druids, I might just play Bazaar and pass the turn, or play Bazaar, play Lotus, pass the turn. Bayou again. Fucking attached to this Bayou, aren't they? Do they not play blue cards? Get a Tropical Island. Live a little. The Excellent Jailer. Oh, I probably can't beat that either. Wait, they've got Jailer? So just like Oath for Jailer? Oh, make it make sense. Oath for Jailer. Is that real life? They've got 4 cards and they fetched a Bayou. Should we just wasteland them? Wait, watch and wasteland? I think so. Oath for Jailer. Jailer for Oath. I'm not sure. So once we've played Bazaar, right, that thing can never attack us. They've got Basic Island. Nox Emerald. Are you going to play an Oath for me? Time Walk, okay. Oh yeah, I'm confused by Jailer. When Sarah's Emissary is like right there, you know, it's right there. It combos with your deck. So let's play Bazaar and activate it. What is this? Besage my Bazaar. Well, I've got a forest. Oh. We got bodied on art selection by the forest today. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll have to just take this out, sideboard this out every round so that we don't have to see this forest too much. Anyway, I'm going to draw some cards. Oof. Oof. It's not what I dreamed of, but I will just hit them with the old 5 creatures. And then we'll say a prayer, I guess. Yeah. Always yield, please. Yeah, so 5 creature turn. And pray they don't have Oath or green source Oath. Or Tabernacle, I guess, as well. Cool. These are my creatures. Your turn. Well, we're not exactly dead to Oath, right? Because they can just Oath up a second Jailer. That's a strip mine. It's largely fine, I think. That can't attack. Well, Guy's Cradle is one hell of a drug. I'd like to activate all of these. The great thing about Graia's Cradle is we don't have to play the Yavimaya Cradle, which would then give them forests. So that's some damage, like 13 of it. So Oath is too slow at this point. Tabernacle's too bad in the face of Cradle. Oh no, that's not true. Because they can just strip the Cradle, right? Well, they're stripping the Cradle now. Interesting. Like, Tabernacle's annoying, but our opponent's dead, so it goes. That was cool. Another example of AggroVine just laughing at graveyard hate. I'm not saying my opponent's bad or wrong or anything like that, but this is a confusing piece of sideboard tech to me. You know, I guess it's castable, but is it really what we care about here? Who knows? Anyway, let's go to round 2. Okay, round 2 of the old league, and we're up against Singpan Man. We've got multiple cards and one Bazaar. Keep 7, as always. Just how we drew it up. We are on the draw, though, so what is scary in this spot? I don't really know. We've got Force of Vigor. What could ever beat us? Okay, we're going to keep this hand, obviously, and pass. So, opponent's turn 1, they've got Underground Sea and nothing else just yet, anyway. So let's play a Bazaar. I presume that's going to be the line. Oh, Upkeep Ancestral. Tidy. They're on 8 cards, but so am I. So that's a Vengevine, if we want one. Pile 1 makes 2 Vengevines. Let's just do Vengevine, Lizard to start. Get in what we can. Then we might even upkeep next turn, just to get the Snacker onto the battlefield next turn and untapped and attacking the following turn. And then we'll get in for 4. So nice. This is like kind of the dream, right? This is the start we're looking for, is the one where you dump in a bunch of power off the first activation. But opponent did just cast Ancestral, and we do only have a Force of Vigor for interaction here. It's a Scalding Tarn. Can we not play against Oath of Druids 2 rounds in a row, please? Thank you. And they're going to walk. All seems good. No Lurrus again from the opponent. Looks a bit like Doomsday, which is our other heinous matchup. Opponent's paying costs, they're going to get a Vampiric Tutor. Falling to 13 off of that. And they play a Lotus. Ugh. Oh, blue. Thatha's Oracle. Right, Orcs. That's a problem. Yeah. Okay. So we lose to Doomsday. We've just run headfirst into our 2 absolute nutlow matchups. So a quick look for new cards. 1 Bauble, 2 Baubles in the main. That's it. So 2 Vexing Bauble in the main. We'll concede. The game has ended. Rough. So we need the Endurances. We need the traps. The Mindbreak traps. Hexdrink has never mattered less. And I think I'll bring in some Nature's Claims. Oh no, I won't. So is Collect Roof good? Not really. Endurance and Mindbreak traps. We need the Vigors for the... Well, actually, maybe we need Claims in for a couple of Vigors. Because we can produce green. Can't imagine I need forest. One cut from this nonsense. One cut, please. So I'm going to trim some vigors because I can bring in these nature's claims, which fight, and I've got Besagis as well. So what about 2 cuts and have another Besagi? So what happens if I cut all the vigors, actually? And then we've just got nature's claims and Besagis for ley lines and baubles, and these fight through the bauble. Yeah, alright, let's give that a crack. I don't know if that's right, but it's certainly what I've submitted. So there's nothing for us here, so let's press powder. Bizarre poxwalkers and a bunch of lizards. So let's keep our hand of 7. Man, Oath into Doomsday is a really tough place to be. That's a Leyline of the Void, as expected. We're going to activate the Bizarre. And we'll just go Lizard, Lizard, Powder. And now we've got Wastelands, which can hopefully keep our opponent off. They mulliganed to 6 for this hand. And we're drawing to claims and Besagis now to get this Leyline out of play. Okay, sure, they've got Tabernacle. That doesn't really matter, right? Like, our clock wasn't very good. No. So Cradle. Cradle's pretty bad. I'm going to activate. I'm willing to come off this other Bizarre as well. So Bizarre, Poxwalker, and Yavimaya. Can I play a land? I can. So let's play Cradle, cast Hollow One. That was the wrong way around. That was awful sequencing. Right. Let's pass the turn to the opponent. We've got Nature's Claim, which is going to get through a Vexing Bauble if that's what they've got this turn. And then we're going to hit them with Wastelands for a couple of turns. Oh, well, get wrecked. Preordain. Okay. All very rough. And now it's back to us. I'm just going to claim the Leyline on their end step. Cool. So they go to 24. We've got a Cradle. That's going to pay for our Hollow One. And a Lizard. So let's play Wasteland and attack for 4, I think. I guess there's a little bit of sculpting for something like a Mind Break trap. And the Cradle's just going to check the Tabernacle until we need it to do something else, right? Opponent's got 5 cards, we've got no interaction with them at this stage. Polluted Delta. Underground Sea. Makes it demonic. Good grief. Doomsday's powerful. Do I want to flip the Bizarre in my end step? Flip Bizarre, yeah, I think so. Because then I can just dump more power into play, and that's pretty much what we're about. Like that. Now do we want to Wasteland that Tabernacle? If this is my board state, then I'd be attacking for 8, 9, they'd go to 10. I think I probably need to. They've just cast a DT as well, so we do need to get them dead. Yeah, so then I can activate here, kill the tab. I'm going to draw a card from my draw step, and then I'm going to have the opportunity to draw into an Endurance. That's a Gaia's Cradle. So I need to activate now to see what I've got, see if I've got the Endurance. I do, so I don't pump for the Lizard. Let's attack. And that puts our opponent on exactly Force of Will to beat us with. Flusterstorm doesn't work. Endurance is big and beefy, and it can beat a Historical Pile, Historical Consult, it can beat a Doomsday. But it can't beat, like, more interaction, right? That's the issue. That's a Murktide Regent. Well, it's kind of unfortunate. 5/5. I might just flash this in then. Just cast Endurance. Could have sorcery speeded it, but hey hey. We're just going to try and go around this Murktide. I'm going to flip my Bazaar so I bring a Sneaky Snacker into play this turn. Sage and Misstep are upsetting. They've got 4 cards. They're probably going to be faster than us. Oh, hello. And we'll go to combat and we'll attack with the squad. Damage is the name of the game. Pump our green lizard. Not. Our opponent knows everything. They're taking 8 here. We're dead to Historical Consult. We can't beat that. But we have got Trap for like a Doomsday line. Dark Ritual. Floating a blue behind. Does that mean Shieldred? Cycles a Street Wraith. Okay. Plays a Gush. Okay. And we win. Alright then. We got there. Just hold the endurance for the power buff. That was the joke. Do we want Vigors? I don't think so. I think I'm happy with where I'm at. This looks fine. This looks fine. Just dump power and have some interactive pieces. That's the whole idea. I've got the claims and the baubles for... Claims and Besagers for baubles and leylines. Mulligan again. Oh, this doesn't look great for us. I unfortunately got given these Valley of Gorgoroth wastelands today, which is not what you dream of when you go to the mana traders wishing well. But it is what we got given, so apologies for some of the art choices. You live and die by the rental services, I guess. So, push Delta for Island for Ponder. That seems fine. We've got a trap here, we've got 2 easy discards. Oh my god. Lotus, cool. And just to pass the turn. So let's take a draw. Powder. Right, we're just going to activate. If they tab us, they tab us. I guess green card endurance are like our best 2 draws here. They snuck that one in, didn't they? Yeah, let's play this first. Because they've already done the 0. Yeah. And now we'll play the hollow one. Next time we're gonna get a snacker. At least we might even be able to increase that with a Poxwalker. I've got Tabernacle again. I'm not too fussed about that. Because we're just very good at getting power into play, and we've already got the Wasteland rolled up. So Hollow one's gonna die. Good night to the Hollow boy. Thanks for coming along though. That was cool of you to show up. I don't like any of my activations here. So I guess that's not true. Let's activate. Lizard, Wasteland, Trap. Wizard, Wasteland, Trap. Play Cradle. Cradle counters Tabernacle. Nature's Claim your Black Lotus. You got an island. Untap Wasteland your island. Yeah. So this is also going to bring 6 power into play. Not the worst, if you ask me. They've got 4 cards in hand. We get Poxwalkers into play. Play Gaia's Cradle. Claim your Lotus. They float 3 blue and cast a Brainstorm. Cool, fine. Nice. I'm happy with that trade. Got a Flooded Strand though. To fetch away their Brainstorm for Underground Sea. And then you can find a Preordain. So we're probably just stripping the Underground Sea at this point, right? This does mean we've got to do a bunch of clicking. Oh, did you see that? I only had to pay once. Oh, I kind of want to go back and see if I only had to click once on the hollow one as well. I'm going to attack for 6 and then strip mine their Underground Sea. Opponent's going to go to 12 from this attack unless they've got like a push or something. Let's play Strip Mine, strip your UC. Opponent's got 4 cards, no black mana. We've got a Gaia's Cradle. They play a Jet into the Chalice. Play an Underground Sea and pass the turn. So we're going to flip on their end step and pray that there's no Bowmaster in their list. There's no Bowmaster in their list. So then we can upkeep our Bazaar. Oh, they've conceded the match. Look at that. They've conceded the match. Did we break it? I can't imagine so. But historically, Oath and Doomsday have been our worst matchups. So yes, I had a restricted card, but they had infinite restricted cards, right? We can't complain about that. Yeah. Cradle beat your Tabernacle. And Nature's Claim costing mana. Didn't really come up, but, you know, still sick. Can't believe we won 2 matches with this deck. Okay, then round 3, we're up against Neo Altoid, and we've got a Powder Hand. It's going to get rid of a few threats here, but we've got such a high density of them, I don't think that's going to matter. Nothing for us there. A land that produces 0 mana. Oh, another one, but this one's slightly better. So let's drop the Snacker and just go for the big dump of power. Roughly 1 billion on turn 1, if we get there. So Moxjet. And this is a hand that gets vexed hard, isn't it? Moxjet, Vault of Whispers. Okay, so this is like going to be one of those all-in new Necro decks. Necro Dominance, okay. Let's see if they get there. I presume so. I presume we just die from this spot. But if they don't, they do die next turn. So I presume we just die is what I'm supposed to be saying. I don't know what I've said. So opponent's going to pay 19 life in this spot. And then go for an instant speed kill. They draw 19 cards. They go to 1. They're dead in our combat if they don't kill us now. And usually it's a number of spirit guides. So there's a spirit guide, Manamorphos, and then an instant from the Lord of the Rings set, which means they can play everything at instant speed, and then they just tendrils us. So Storm's 3 at the moment. They've got 21 cards in hand. We'll let them execute. Summoner's Pact for a Elvish Spirit Guide. Oh, this is also a leyline, isn't it? But only your graveyard. So we're gonna need our traps. We're gonna need our vigors. What else would we want? Endurance doesn't do anything. Nature's Claim beside you. So a billion Storm. It's a shame we wasted such a busted hand on getting killed on turn 1. So Born Upon a Wind, there you go. You may cast spells this turn as though they had flash. Storm is 10. And they play out a bunch of jewelry. And a mini piece. But we've got to assume that the fact they've gone so deep so far means that they're going to kill us. And one of the pieces of tech that came out of the legacy version of this deck is they play the Valakut Awakening, which is the dual face land, double face card, where you can discard any number of cards and then draw that many, so they can keep going in their end step if they miss their instant speed thing. But we are deceased. The opponent is going to kill us. Opponent hasn't yielded, so let's just concede the game for them. Okay. So that was cool. Demonstrate a new MH3 card. Don't know if I want that Beseiju, just it looks a bit slow, but I think I want the 4 Mindbreak traps. I think I'm interested in the claims though, because the claims we can produce green on. So they look shit now. Is that true? Collect Roof looks slow. Sneaky Snacker looks slow. So if I do that and don't have any Nature's Claims, the problem with Nature's Claim, right, is I want to be dropping these Beseijus. I think Vigor, Oof, Mindbreak Trap sounds fine. But they can get those Dark Rituals, right? So maybe actually we should drop the Oof and bring these Nature's Claims. And I need 1 more card, so I can just have the Forest, and I've got maximum green sources. Ooh, Sage is probably better than Forest. So I've got a lot of green sources to cast my Nature's Claims. So we can Vigor and Claim, Leylines, and Necropotent Sings. And we've got 4 Mindbreak Traps. I think that looks fine. And we're on the play this time. So this has got a Force of Vigor, but it's not doing anything. So we're still going to go and get our Bazaar of Baghdad unless we see something cracked. Chalice on 0 probably resembles cracked. I'll drop the Wasteland. I don't think that's doing anything here. And Mox Emerald would be like the best card off the top of the deck here, I think. Serum Powder. So let's discard Lizard, Powder, and I guess just Beseiju. We can find green next turn for a Nature's Claim to go after their lands with. Let's cast a Lizard, cast a Hollow One, cast a Chalice of the Void. And then next turn we're hoping to find green. But this doesn't really beat Vault of Whispers Dark Ritual, does it? Did I have the opportunity to just have... No, I think I drew the trap. I can't remember what I've drawn. So Gemstone Mine. And an Elvish Spirit Guide, so Cabal Ritual. Into New Necro, which isn't online. So they're then going to draw a billion cards. I don't know what I fight here. So their next spell is the one that's like 13 deep. The third spell, sorry. So do you fight the Born Upon a Wind, or do you fight the first mana Morphos? Opponent's got 23 cards. They've used a Spirit Guide already. I wonder if there's... I could have just gone Boseiju, Chalice, Nature's Claim, right? And that looks really powerful. And then present threats later. Maybe I'm supposed to approach it more in an oops all spells kind of manner. The big question is just how much resilience do they have for their Born Upon a Wind? I don't know if they're a Force of Will deck. I can't imagine so. Oh, they concede. So they fizzled, which is cute. And we possibly had it covered anyway. So anything else we want to do, sideboarding wise? I don't think so. I think I'm actually going to bring in this forest and drop another snacker. I don't think killing them is the problem. I think not dying is the problem. And the reason I'm bringing in the forest is it turns on my claim better. So this is Vigor Trap and do nothing else. This is close, right? I think this could be a deck where this sort of thing is close. I might keep this just to find out. I'm going to Vigor their Necro Dominance, I'm going to Mind Break Trap their Force of Will, and then I'm going to strip line their one land. They're going to have essentially no cards in hand, and we're going to have 4 cards drawing to Bazaar. That's so bad, and we're not even playing Once Upon a Time. That's so bad. Now I'm going to mulligan it. I'm not confident, but I'm going to mulligan. So that's a Bazaar, no Vigor. You see, and I don't think I can keep this, right? Fucking hell. This is tough. Do I just powder this hand away? So I'm on the draw, so maybe my opener was actually way better. Let's powder this and keep the Vigor. Bazaar, Mind Break Trap, 2 hollow ones. Okay. That's going to have to do. That opener. Oh, fuck you. Chance of the Annex. Oh, dearie me. And they've kept 7 as well. Can't imagine we're getting a turn here. Necropotence. I guess that's just the same though, right? They're dead on our turn. Oh, buddy, we're going to have to come up with a better way of doing that. If you just hold control, then you can just spam it. Okay, so opponent's going to pay 19 again. Our Mind Break Trap's dead. We just need them to fizzle. Which is hard, right, when your opponent's drawing 19 cards. I wonder about that opener still. So what would happen here? Nothing really, right? I would have had to punt my Vigor into that, and then I'd have the Mind Break Trap open. And then I'd strip line that thing, and then they'd have 20 cards in hand. Because this is where Necropotence is better, right? Is it plays around Vigor better. So opponent's going to go to their end step. And they've got to kill us. I'm sure they're more likely to kill us than anything else, but... Chance of the Annex, well. So the opener didn't kill them, but the opener did counter everything. Summoner's Pact. Okay, so they're going to get an Elvish Spirit Guide. We just can't cast this Mind Break Trap, so I can probably just let them do it all. It looks like they've got the Manamorphos into Born Upon a Wind. They at least think they're getting somewhere. Yeah. And this is always the downside of AggroVine is these combo matchups are so hard. Like Doomsday was always really tough because it was just faster and better than you, sort of thing. Um, my Bizarre Mulligan was interesting. That was definitely dead anyway. So blue black, dark ritual. Storm count is 5 at the moment. Born upon a wind. Play out some Moxen and drill us. We've already seen opponent fizzle once, right? So we need to hope that they're on like digging for the tendrils or something, or just that they're tight on mana. But doesn't look like that's the case. So Manamorphoses again. Storm is 9. Okay, still going, still digging. And then 4 mana. Please be the tendrils, so we can all go home. Demonic Tutor, okay. We keep watching. And then they Lotus Tendrils. Cool. Oh no, that's white mana. Okay. And yeah, we're never able to trap, right, because of this Chancellor. So do we want to do it anyway? Nah, let's just go. Okay, so we lose to Oops All Spells. And they had multiple packs. Interesting. Right, I'll see you for round 4. Okay, round 4 up against Harvey Dent. We've got Bizarre, we've got Snacker, Misstep, Vigor. That looks good. We're on the play as well. Cheeky Lizard. Rah. And I wonder what Mr. Dent is playing today. So let's give the Bizarre a spin. And this is one of those things about this deck is that I'm going to drop the Wasteland. One of the things about this deck is you can't get your Bizarres back. So the hope, I guess, the idea is that we put a lot of power into play on our first activation, which we've done, right? We've got 1 power. So taste it. Probably means we're going to have to go through the Bizarre next time. The reason I discarded the Wasteland is this has left me with Force Green card and Beseiju into Hexdrinker. Tropical Island could be... This looks like the average bug opener. Yeah. This many bits of power, it's got to be bug, not oath. I'm not going to fight any of their nonsense, though. Don't think so. And I'm going to play Strip Mine. And attack for 1. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to try and take them off that blue source there with the Tropical Island. So Strip Mine on your trop, they float a blue. Brainstorm. Misstep your Brainstorm. Warhammer 40k Brainstorm. No, I want to look at the Brainstorm. Wild. So, Trop dies. I think I'm just going to pass and not activate the Bizarre here. Because then I'm going to try and Vigor their black and Mystical Tutor. Alright, so now I can activate Bazaar. Because now they can't cast a whole Breacher. They can cast a Bowmaster, but I can fly over a Bowmaster. Oof, brutal. So this one. So Sneaky Snacker, Vengevine, Besage, you can all go. Opponent's got 2 cards in hand post Sneaking and Snacking. Post Mystical Tutor, sorry. And we're going to upkeep Jet and Sapphire. No Lurus revealed. So they've got Show and Tell. We're going to kill these 2. I just need to make sure I actually clicked those 2. This one and this one. Yeah. And then we're going to bink those. So now they've got Show and Tell on top of their deck. 2 cards in hand. One of them's an Atraxa. So they're a land away from greatness. Another Oath Gamer, though. That's not cool. We need a Wasteland. Thank you. Thank you, Magic Online. It's another turn with no Sneaky Snacker. We're just going to attack for 3. They've got Show and Tell Atraxa in hand and a Mox Ruby in play. We're dead to Lotus. Can't do anything about that. We're going to hold this Bizarre Activation and Hollow One. So that we can bring back the Vengevine in future. Another land. Can you stop? Just for one moment, just give it a break. Lizard. So that confirms Vengevine and Sneaky Snacker. Oh, cool. So the clock's good. We just need to fade land drops. They've not done us any favours so far. They've just top decked 2 lands in a row. So these are our threats. We get in there for 7 right now. And they're dead on board. They need a land right now. What a twat. Can we get around this? Oh, it's a house. You're so dead. You've never been more dead. Alright. So they got very lucky just running runner lands. But their payoff was rubbish. So that's cool. Oath of Druids. I bought in a number of traps last time. And I bought in a number of claims. And a Besage. I think that's what I roughly bought in. Hexbrinkers don't really do anything. The Sneaky Snackers is what I took out. Not really showcasing the Sneaky Snacker today, are we? I don't think I need all the traps against Oath, and I think I can trim an Oof. Man, if that was the tracks, the game ended. So this hand's unkeepable. This hand's exceptionally keepable. And we'll put back a powder. So we've got Mindbreak, Trap, Bizarre, Poxwalkers. And if they needle our Bizarre, we can go like Lotus Poxwalkers and feel smart until they play Oath. So C, Jet, nothing. I wonder if they've got Yixit Jailer. I'm still baffled by that. But they kept on 7. So we would assume that there's going to be a Tabernacle out there somewhere. Let's just play Bizarre and activate it. I'm not particularly scared of much here. Let's hit him with the old... Oh, so how do we play around Tabernacle here? I guess we don't. It's got to be Tabernacle, right? They've got to have Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast these 2, and then we're going to cast Lotus and not cast Collector Reef, I think. But do I care about these creatures dying? That's my next question. I don't think so. Let's play Lotus. Lotus should merit a Force of Will if they're holding Tabernacle. Or maybe they're just happy with the 1-for-1 Tabernacle on Lotus. And then they take 4. Ancestral himself. Okay. That seems fine. I don't even know if I do pay for these guys, even if they tab me. So Forbidden Orchard and a Black Lotus. And they're passing the turn, so it looks like they're building up to a hard cast Atraxa. So let's go Gaia's Cradle, Collector Roof. I can never have Trap online, can I, without flipping my Bazaar and finding another lizard. So I guess I do that. Find another lizard. Did not. So Powder, Cradle, Claim. Play Cradle. Attack for 4. And then just cast Collector Roof off of Lotus. And then claim them. And then consider the fact that I've wasted 2 mana this turn. That sounds great. That all sounds great. 2 mana and 2 damage. Straight down the drain. So cast Force of Will. Pitching Mental Misstep. I'm going to claim their Lotus in response. The reason I paid with Lotus is I'm about to turn it off with this guy, right? So now I've just got a Mind Break Trap, which doesn't look very good in this spot. Alright, so let's be honest, that turn was just an absolute disaster. And I played it poorly. Yeah, this is why. Do they have Time Walk as well to go with this Oath? Oh, they've just got a Seiju. Okay, yeah, I get a Forest. Forest me. So we've got a bit of a clock here then. We don't have any sort of interaction. It's a little bit of interaction. Let's get in for our 7 points of damage. We're very much on a hope and a prayer here though, so it's not great, but I feel like we played that crucial turn quite badly though. I was attached to the Mind Break Trap for a very long time because I was like, I can crack my Lotus to trap. And I was like, hang on a minute, I'm playing a Collector Roof, so my Lotus is going to die, so I may as well just play with the Lotus. And then claim afterwards. But now I've just got this stupid Mind Break Trap. I could have had a Nature's Claim. I don't have access to blue mana. And now they're going to play a Show and Tell. Yeah. And I could have a Lotus sat in play. No, I won't put anything to play, but thank you for offering. So it's just a house again, so that's good for us. So what's that so far? That's just one spell. They play another Show and Tell off the top of the deck. I continue to have nothing. So do they. That's 2 spells, and then we win the match. It's just... That's the problem with house, right? Is you play house and then you die. See you for round 5. Okay, game 5, round 5. We're up against Atlante. We're on the play. We have no Bazaar. Sadness resolves. Let's go to 6. We've got a Bazaar into Oof into Hollow One. So we'll keep this. We'll bottom Boseiju. Our activation is difficult here, isn't it? So we've got to get rid of one of these 4. Like, we keep Hollow One, we play Bazaar, we've got to get rid of one of these 4. And Cradle casts Oof, Oof pitches to Vigor, Wasteland is powerful. So it's going to be a tough one. Hopefully these 2 are easier. So we're going to draw 2, we're going to discard 3, and we're going to play a Hollow One. It's probably just supposed to be Yavimaya that goes. And we just commit to pitching the Oof. But, oh, hang on. Does that maths change? Or, like, not maths, but, does that calculation change now that Vexing Bauble's in the format? Because if they go Underground Sea, Vexing Bauble, and I don't have a Yavimaya Cradle, my Vigor's dead. And I can't cast my Oof. Oh, shit. I mean, the other option is I discard Bazaar, Valley, fuck me. Bazaar, Wasteland, Vigor, and then I just go Cradle, Oof, attack for 8. I think that sounds like the most proactive game plan, right? So Bazaar goes, Wasteland goes, Vigor goes. We cast a Hollow One. We cast a Hollow One. We pass the turn. We play turn 2 Collector Roof and hope it's good. Wasteland's just catastrophic for that whole idea. Well. I've still got 8 power. They've got no permanence. Mox Emerald, Black Lotus are our best 2 cards here. Well, did I never think about Wasteland in that whole thing? I'm just going to play the Cradle. I don't love it, but I'm going to play it. Tells our opponent what we're on, but it does mean that I can top deck a land next turn and play Collect Roof. They fall to 8. We've got nothing to do. Mishra's Factory, so shops. Mishra's Factory, wow. What a world we live in. Maybe it's like Eldrazi rather than shops, because Wasteland Factory is really bad. Patchy and deploy a bunch of mocks, yeah. Cool. If this gets to a 4-4, it's going to be very tough to win. Phyrexian Revoker. Phyrexian Revoker doesn't really do a lot. It trades to the Hollow One, right? Aggro shops, that's tough. This looks like a Vexing Bauble deck if ever there was one. We need them to not have another 0 here, so that we can kill 2 creatures with 1 Hollow One. Yavimaya Ancients. I don't know what that card does. They're paying costs. You hate to see it. Chalice on 0. So they get a 4-4 out of the deal. Not ideal. Let's just attack for 8. See if we can get the trade with this Patchwork before it kills us. They've got 2 cards in hand. I kind of want to know what a Yavimaya Ancients is. Okay, opponent's turn. They're at 4. They've got a tapped Mana Vault. We've got no plays to make. So they're at 3. Do you have a Shadow Spear? Because that would be correct. Oh, Yavimaya Ancients is from Alliances originally. Ballista on 1 makes a 5/5. They've got 2 cards in hand. They can attack with that one, that's true. So we're going to kill the Ballista and our Hollow One's going to die. Is that true? Yavimaya Cradle. Cradle of Yavimaya. No, jeez, I can't speak. Guys, Cradle, cool. So I can attack with both. Kill a Ballista. I think that's very good. Let's just go Cradle. Cast an Oof. Your Ballista's dead. Your Emerald's dead. Your Mana Vault is so insanely tapped. Right, so yeah, anyway, more interesting than the game. Yavimaya Ancients, 5 mana, 2/7 with green. It gets +1, -2 until end of turn. Alliance is common, which makes sense. It's a threatening card. So Ancient Tomb's dead. Oh no, Ancient Tomb's not dead. I've got a Yavimaya Cradle. But they can't. They're so far away from that. I'm just going to sit and watch them die to their mana vault, I think. Although we've got an attack next turn if we want it. This attack's useless. Academy would be very good for them. They've got 3 cards in hand. And they've conceded the game. Go, Mana Vault, go. So, extra lands. Hexdrinker can attack through a patchwork like nobody's business. And Nature's Claims. I don't want Chalice on the draw. I need 4 cuts from here. I like all my lands. All my lands are good. I like the Hexdrinkers as a later game play. I think I'm just going to trim like the dorky creatures. I think the Sneaky Snacker is actually the weakest one for us here. I'm afraid to cut it again, but the thing with Sneaky Snacker is I need to activate Bazaar a second time, which against shops is not likely. So sorry. This hand's useless. This hand is a turn 2 Collect Roof into turn 2 Collect Roof, turn 3 Collect Roof. But the thing is our first land gets wasted and we just die. So let's go to 6. This hand is also trash, right? Yeah. So we'll powder this. We'll keep Vigor, Hollow Lotus, I think. Can't play that one. Okay. And we will keep this. And we'll bottom Misstep. I'm going to bottom the Lizard. Oh, I've got to bottom more than that. What? Alright, come back. Bottom Misstep, bottom Hexdrinker, bottom Cradle. Not confident, but we've got Vigor for Pissing Needle. And that's going to have to keep us in the game. So Sapphire, Workshop, 4 mana, makes a Ballista on 2. Is that worth Vigoring? I don't think so, not right now. We need cards. Cards and threat is what we need. Cards and threats. Let's activate Bazaar. I discard Vengevine, Emerald Powder, hold the second Bazaar. I think I'm going to wait for them to do something else before I use my Vigor. I'm not too fussed about the Ballista at the moment. I'm expecting to get wasted here. Okay, so they're just going to attack for 2. Like, if they do nothing, then I will kill their permanents. But I'm pretty sure they're going to have more than nothing in this spot. One disadvantage of sideboarding out Snacker is if they play a Trinosphere. We've got a Patchwork Automaton. If they discard Trinosphere, then we're in like a real world of hurt, right? There's a Saga. Yeah, that'll do me. Let's get rid of these 2. Leave them to Sapphire. They'll ping me for 2. They didn't wasteland us. Maybe I'm supposed to wait, actually. Give them the mana. Don't die to Needle. Yeah, questionable plays. So Snacker wins through a Trinosphere, so that's one reason to keep Snacker in your deck. But just the idea of having 2 Bazaar activations is, I don't know, it sounds like quite fantastical, really. Thorn of Amethyst, that's fine. Like, it's it's a thing that does a thing, but we could just waste them, actually. They've got 2 cards in hand. Wasteland looks great. They don't have any more zeros. They could have another land, but I'm not activating here in any circumstance, really, am I? Now they've just got 2/2. See if they've got anything post-combat, but they've just got 2/2 and I've got 2 Bazaars. I feel kind of good about our ability to dig out of this just by flipping Bazaar of Baghdad a bunch. Force of Vigor. Can't cast that. So let's activate the Bazaar with a bit of selection, and now let's just discard all of these and play another Bazaar. Flip it just in case, but no, a bunch of misses. Dead to a Needle. Dead to the new Needle. Dead to Spyglass. Opponent's got an Ancient Tomb. The new Needle is called Disruptor Flute, which can kill a Bazaar and make spells cost 3 more. Sphere of Resistance. That's a problem, right? So Hex Drinker and Serum Powder. I'm at 12 as well. Oh, Sphere of Resistance here really binking us. Can't cast it. And we have Poxwalker. Yeah, the Sphere's big. The Thorn didn't really do anything. At that point, we're already out of spells. So, over to us. We get one good activation here. What do I achieve by flipping cards over and over and over again? Nothing really. So I guess I keep Collect Roof and pass. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I need a land to get anywhere, don't I? The Collect Roof's not actually that good. The other cards weren't doing anything for us. So I think what I'm going to do is play Wasteland and then activate my 2 Bazaars looking for a lizard. Okay, we find one. Which we can cast this time, which is going to bring back a Poxwalkers. Which means we can chump block this turn and then have a Death Toucher in play. I can't really flip any more cards, so we'll do some upkeep, end step and upkeep flipping, I think. I was supposed to flip in response to the Madness trigger, actually, to get more Poxwalkers into play. Sorry, that was nonsense. Opponent could have Tabernacle at Pendule Vale here. I am going to block. Or my life table slightly higher if they're on a 4x Walking Blister deck. Yeah, no, so with the Madness trigger on the stack, I should have activated this Bazaar. I have no cards in hand, and I can just find a second Poxwalker. So that wasn't very good of us. Not very cool at all. Alright, so Lizard dies. Does opponent have plays? They have a Urza Saga. Okay. Urza Saga is problematic, so it's going to attack my Wasteland. I'm going to flip my Bazaar of Baghdad. So I've still got one snacker that's sneaky. We would have hit the other Poxwalker, so that's all gone perfectly, really. We'll flip these guys just in case we're able to hit a hollow one. I'm not going to cast this lizard, I'm afraid. Not ideal. Maybe that bunch of activations is just abysmal, but we'll kill Saga. We'll pass the turn. Opponent's got 4 cards and 3 mana, but there's 2 spheres in play, which could be taxing them quite hard. We need to find another mana-producing land at some point in the future. I've got a lot of them left in our deck, though, so that should be okay. Opponent can't attack. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8 lizards have gone so far, plus 6 out of 8 lizards. Wow. So 3 mana makes looks to be a metamorph, I guess. Dismember on my Poxwalkers. Okay. Then they play an Ancient Tomb. They get in for 3. So this first Bazaar activation has to hit like a mana source. Force of Vigor. Can't cast that. Makes that difficult. That's a mana source. I can't do anything with that mana source, so I just have to play Hollow One. I can't do the lizard. Shit the bed. So opponent's got 3 cards. I can't cast any more creature spells, so I'm just going to play Hollow One. I'm going to do this at some point anyway, I think, so Wasteland, fuck. I think I'm just going to take a draw step next turn. I don't think I'm going to flip all my cards over. They need to double spell to kill my Hollow One. I think I'm just going to take my draw step, because then if it's a land, I can play it and then flip into my final lizards. This has been a tough game to navigate. I feel like I've made 87 mistakes with it. But Nettle Cysts, that's probably quite big. You would imagine that that's going to be quite big. It's a 5/5. I trade with the patchwork. I have to. Oh, no. Just let me have it. Okay. That's cool. Let's take a draw step. It is a land. So let's play land. And then we've got a billion looks at another lizard. Collect Roof Nature Claim. Hex Drinker. No. Okay. We lose. Good games, I think. Oh no. That's not a match. Lol. We've got a whole other game to play. Oh wow, it's really down to 1 lizard. So maybe the snackers are great because they actually go through all the taxing stuff. Chalice on the play is traditionally good. Maybe I come off the Hex Drinkers again. The Hex Drinkers are usually very good. I'm just going to come off those. And I'm going to come off Collect Roof. Collect Roof looked really tough. They're usually a Null Rod deck as well, aren't they, anyway? So right, let's come off of Poxwalkers instead. That was the whole thing keeping us in that game, actually. But hey ho. Right. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? We have a lot of air. This is going to aggressively die to a Tabernacle of Pendule Veil. I like it. I'm just going to discard a lizard. I'm going with lizard because I want to play the sneaky snacker, and I think the sneaky snacker coming into play next turn guaranteed is slightly better than a lizard. I've already got Vengevines guaranteed if I draw one off this Bazaar activation, so I don't need the lizard for that. Cradle's a nice one though. Cradle Wheat's a tabernacle like nobody's business. Never mind. Let's cast a hollow one. Let's cast a chalice on 0. Let's cast a hollow one. If we don't get tabbed, I'll take my draw step before activating. It's a workshop. Yeah, I kind of wish these two were the other way around. But then if they wasteland me, then I don't, right? I don't wish they're the other way around. That's the problem. Maybe I guess wasteland and needle are good reasons to keep the cradle there. Because then we're playing around tabernacle in advance. Opponent's got turn 1 patchwork into Soul Ring. 4 cards remain in hand. Do they have a hate piece as well? So if I get wasted, my snacker never comes back, but that's not really an issue, right? Snacker not coming into play. Because I just have a cradle to play around tabernacle. I've just got a cradle to play around tabernacle. So I'm just going to activate this, bring back my snacker, discard my bazaar, have a cradle sat in play. Kind of getting away with one there. Attack for 8, have a flyer in play. I'm not awfully concerned about wasteland here. I don't think, at least. I mean, they're going to play more artifact spells, which isn't ideal for the home team. Got a Foundry Inspector, which like neutralizes their sphere on their side. Leave me alone. Another workshop. Phyrexian Revoker. Hexdrinkers have gone. Deathrite Shaman is the name this time. That's interesting, Deathrite Shaman. I preferred Yavimaya Ancients, actually. Let's give the Bazaar the old Flip-a-doo. Oh, we get a Lizard as well for our troubles. Yeah, I'll cast a Lizard. And it makes a top deck Presagio bad, but I think that's fine. Vengevine. So we can attack. We lose a hollow one, though. Let's just fly for 2. So then they can't attack us either, really. My guys are bigger than their guys, except for one of them. But I'd happily trade hollow 1 and hollow 1 sort of thing for their patchwork. That's a Saga, so I need to kind of pick up the pace a bit then. And then they play Thorn of Amethyst, which I don't believe is particularly impactful here. They've got a 6/6, so we get to sculpt off Bazaar with this Vengevine being here. And we draw a Presagio. So I'm going to activate. So I'm probably going to keep this Presagio, but it gives us a good idea of what we're doing, what we're kind of going after. Or maybe I don't keep this Presagio, then maybe I can just wasteland their Saga and attack for 2 in the air. Yeah, that seems way better. So I was tossing up between Presagio, your Saga, or Presagio, your patchwork. But now that I've drawn a wasteland, I can just come off the Presagio, play the waste the Saga, which is like an actual threat, and then just attack for 2 in the sky. Both players are hellbent. Opponent's drawn a spell, which I don't love. It's a Worm Coil Engine. I wonder if I have any Presagios anywhere. I mean, Worm Coil we can do a bunch of bad trades with. So that's cool. I'm going to flip Bazaar upkeep. Another Vengevine. Basic Forest. We'll hold that, we'll attack for 2. There's no point in us attacking for 2 in the face of a Wormcoil Engine. So I can trade Hollow 1 Snacker for Wormcoil. I get to sculpt with my Bazaar next turn, looking for Nature's Claim or Boseiju on the other half of the Wormcoil. And I'll block like this. Opponent's going to go up to 14. I'm going to get a Sneaky Snacker back next turn anyway to pump my Cradle back up with. Unless they're holding Wasteland, of course. Wormcoil dies into 2 things. But we do have triple Vengevine in our graveyard, and that's sort of what we're going to have to try and aim towards, is a triple Vengevine turn while staying alive. Which means we're going to have to continuously activate to bring back our Snacker. It would be great if, you know, Magic Online didn't just completely punt itself away. There we go. And if they've drawn a second Wormcoil, it's probably game. Oh god. Trinisphere. It's not impactful. But it is beatable when we've got Chalice, Cradle. So another Sneaky Snacker is quite a nice draw. So let's activate Bazaar. Let's discard Forest, Snacker, Vigor. We get a Sneaky Snacker back into play, which means we can play our Nature's Claim here. At some point they're going to start attacking us with an 8/8. Which is not like the dream. Do I just have to kill the Trinisphere though? We could do them like top decking a land at some point. Unlicensed Hearse, that's fucked up. Can I ever overpower a Hearse? How do you do this? That's 12 damage. Yeah, I don't see a way for this to ever work, to be honest with you. So I say 12, I think. Say 12. Hearse or Trinisphere. I mean, the Vengevines are never coming in with either of those in play. I think I've got to hit the Trinisphere first time around, and then focus on coming up with something else. So Sphere's going to go away. The Snacker's keeping our... Maybe I should have hit the Hearse, because the Snackers keep our Cradle going. Let's flip Bazaar of Baghdad. Yeah, that Wormcoil, just forcing us to do something else rather than just attack for 2 every turn, really changed this. They eat Snacker Vengevine, that's fine. In response to Bazaar activation. I hit Lizard Oof. Means I won't be able to get AggroVine into play this turn. Yeah, I'm not sure, guys, of how we actually come back from this. Let's pass the turn. Yeah, because then they're just going to use my 2 AggroVines. Okay, right. So we're going to stop there with what will be a 3-2 record, losing to Oops All Spells and Shops, which is, I think, a fine place to be with this deck. We beat Oath, which is not usual. We beat the other deck that we played against. Doomsday. Yeah, we beat Oath and Doomsday, didn't we? Which is quite cool, but maybe there's other flaws. The Sneaky Snackers seemed cool. I think there's a lot of decision points that I've probably made poorly, but so it goes. So yeah, I don't think I can beat her Sphere's Thorn, so let's go. Let's just make a block here. I've got multiple 10/10s in play, and then we'll take one more turn, I think. Get a draw step, vigor. Oh god, do I have to keep playing? So I can pay for Patchwork and Hearse. All my Vengevines have gone. I can then chump block. Oh no. Sorry. I did the whole thing where you review the whole thing and then draw a card. Yeah, so that kills my 2 Vengevines. I'm gonna upkeep. Maybe I can upkeep just like Nettle Cyst. So upkeep these 2, I think. The hearse has already done the thing. Oh. Well, I just fucked it all up. I didn't have enough creatures in play. Goodness sake. So maybe I'm supposed to get Nettle Cyst first. Now I'm like actual factual dead because this counters the whole figure. Okay. Okay. Concede the game. We do lose. Weird ending, sorry. I kind of punted that all over the place in multiple different ways. Let's have a look at our deck. I think this is cool. I think this is something I will try and revisit again soon. The Hex Drinkers I didn't know about. I didn't know if I wanted them, but they are usually very good against mono white, bug, shops, that sort of thing. Decks with permanents. I did want to look at Grist, the new Grist, Voracious Lava, but I thought Hex Drinker's better. Sneaky Snackers seemed cool in this build. I liked that they came in against the Trinosphere idea, and through the spheres and that sort of thing. But the big downside of them is they do only come into play off the second Bazaar activation, which we're not guaranteed these days, right? Sideboard, maybe we need to consider a way to remove a creature from the battlefield. Who knows? Yeah, but otherwise, a nice first day out for the Sneaky Snackers. So thanks for watching. See you soon.